Okay, so welcome, sisters. Thank you for joining me for day 2. Today is a simple practice of Nadi Shodhana, which you may be familiar with. It's said to be the first pranayama. Pranayama is basically breath work, and it's said to be the first before you move into any deeper or even more intense pranayama, because it balances the feminine and masculine energies within the body. So along the left side, we have our feminine, and along the right, we have our masculine. And then we have the Sushumna, which is our central energy channel, where we envision the chakras to be running along the spine. So on either side, we have the feminine and the masculine. So when we do this breath work, we're envisioning a balance between the two. And actually the feminine side, even if you just wanted to breathe through the left nostril, that would activate the parasympathetic nervous system. So your body and your being becomes more calm. So if you're ever having a lot of anxiety or your mind just feels really busy, it's such a simple way to just breathe onto, close the right nostril and just breathe into the left. And then, of course, the other way around too is if you're feeling really tired and just inactive, you could also breathe through the right nostril. So through this, we're balancing the two. And I'll just let you know before we begin, there's some construction happening next door. They've been quiet since we came online. So maybe it's a blessing. Maybe they're on their lunch break right now. But as I was setting up and I could hear them, I was just reminded of practicing meditation and just daily sadhana in India, because unless you're up in the mountains in India, there's always background noise. There's always something happening. There's always distractions. And it's actually a blessing because it reminds us that we are never going to be able to, as hard as we may try, we're never going to be able to 100% control our external surroundings. So it's a great practice to come back to your center, to really anchor in to your center, to your breath, no matter what's happening, whether it's construction, whether it's going through heartbreak, grief, losing your job, whatever it may be. When we really practice sitting with the breath and meditating, which is really just being present with the self, when we have that anchor, when anything feels overwhelming or unsure or even scary and fearful and anxieties coming up, we just come back to our center. And this has been the greatest blessing for me along my spiritual practice and my self-love journey, that whenever things out here feel chaotic or even painful or like it's too much, I now have this deep connection to self that I just sit in front of a mirror, look at myself, be present with myself. And when I say myself, it's really looking beyond just the physical Krystal avatar, but the physical, like the more subtle self, sorry. So I have that connection. So when anything becomes too much, that's what we come back to, rather than, oh, I need attention from someone, or I'm going to go, drink alcohol or whatever it may be. Like, healthy distractions are good too, but it's amazing to have that connection where it's like, okay, it's very empowering to go sit in a room by yourself and feel good there, and that using that as really your healing. So through this practice, even today, we'll do 5 to 10 minutes of breath work each day, very short practices, but it brings you back to self. It drops you back into the more subtle realms. If you're too in your mind, if your day feels hectic or whatever it is, maybe you can come back to the self in this way. And my intention for just making these short and sweet is to really show you that you can change your mindset, your energetic blueprint of the day, like how you wake up, can be shifted within 5 minutes. And that's so powerful. And that's why this breathwork, pranayama, really learning how to manipulate the breath so that we can feel good, so that we can feel turned on, so that we can create that deeper connection to ourselves. Currently in India, yes. Bringing us some Mama India vibes. Okay, so we'll go into our practice. I think it was good timing. Literally, as soon as I pressed record, they stopped and I haven't heard them since. Okay, so good to see all of you here, sisters. Okay, so sitting where you are, sitting up nice and tall, gently closing the eyes. And we'll begin this practice just by being present with ourselves and reminding you that meditation, there's a misconception that we need to clear our minds and we need to be a certain way in meditation, when really all it is being present with the self. And being present with the self, as I just explained, even for 5 minutes a day, is so empowering to release everything external and just be with the self. So simply just witnessing as the non-judgmental witness to how you're feeling in this moment, to anything that may be arising within yourself, within your day, knowing and trusting that you're exactly where you're meant to be. Nothing needs to be changed. This is a journey of unbecoming rather than becoming. So as we release with this Kali energy of destruction and release this week and this month, if you're in the membership, it's like a snake shedding its skin. We're releasing any of the external conditioning, coming back to the true self, like shedding different layers of the skin. So knowing that you don't have to become anything other than who you are in this moment now. You can never possibly be more worthy, more radiant, more perfect, more divine than you are right now. And it's simply just a path of remembering that. So we'll take 3 deep breaths together. Deep, controlled inhale into the hips, all the way into the root chakra, filling up, expanding. And with the exhale, just giving it a little shake, letting any noise, sound that wants to come out. Releasing tension from the day. And again, a deep inhale. Breathing in that new life, that new breath. Moving the body, shaking, dropping in. And one more time, deep inhale. Relaxing the jaw, audible exhale. And for a moment, inviting you to call in that word, the word that you are claiming as yours through this journey. And thinking for a moment what that word means to you. What emotions are attached to that word? What vibrations on an energetic level? And what really magnetized you to that word at this point in your journey? And how will you continue to embody it during these next 6 days together? And before we begin our breath work, calling in the energy, Kali Ma, our tough mother, clearing the way this week as we transition into a new season and even a new chapter, constantly rebirthing. shedding layers to reveal our most radiant, authentic selves. And our card today is Shri Bala. So just taking in these words, not thinking about them too much as I read them, and just welcoming them into the heart space and their message. Divine child with wisdom beyond her years, the old soul with deep knowing dwells within our hearts. She urges you to commit to your most passionate inspirations completely and without hesitation. There are genius and wisdom in what you yearn to do. You have a greater capacity to attain fruition than those around you may recognize. Believe in yourself, even if no one else does. It's not imagination that drives you toward your destiny, but an instinctive recognition of your true purpose. Validation from others will come later. Your path is authentic, and you are destined to succeed. This aspect of Lalita Tripura Sundari, Shri Bala, translates as divine child, or more specifically as God the daughter. It is far more commonplace for the divine child to be represented as male, and in numerous cultures, having a boy is considered particularly auspicious. So, Shri Bala is not only a celebration of the divine feminine child, but an inversion of dominant cultural values. Her presence shakes up traditional power structures with her combination of innocence and fearlessness. It is my sense that there are emanations of Shri Bala in the form of particularly pure-hearted, fearless, and empowered young women speaking and acting for the protection of the feminine in our world today, such as through environmental activism. It is taught that Bala asks her goddess mother Lalita to allow her to join the battle against evil. She's so passionate to fill her inner yearning that her body cannot keep still. Shri Bala arises when we need to trust in what feels right on an inner level, not allowing a lack of external validation to deter us from our innate and authentic purpose. Muscle does not have to meet muscle. The strength of intention combined with pure and fearless commitment to our true nature is enough to change the course of what is happening. The mountain can be moved by faith the size of a mustard seed. We must continue to apply ourselves and not give up on who we are and what we came to this planet to accomplish. In doing so, the power needed shall be divinely given. Public validation can come later, but we do not need it to accomplish what is required. The Tantras teach that Bala saw the battle unfolding and what was necessary to attain success with complete clarity. Adults tend to underestimate a child's capacity to see what is going on, yet the child is the unconditioned part of us, the part that sees things as they are. In a reading, the presence of Shri Bala implies that our instinctive desires to pursue a particular path of fulfillment and expression are authentic. The authentic path is the safest and most protected path we can take. It is the one on which we are closest to the divine, to our true nature, with all its wisdom, intuition, and creative resourcefulness. We can more readily attract what we need, and things fall into place more effortlessly. It seems to be the opposite of playing it safe. Yet, the more we diverge from our authentic being, the more disconnected we are from our divine connection, and the more danger we will encounter. Bala is said to be Lalita's breath. What does that mean? Breath keeps energy flowing through the body. When Bala declares that she wants to fight, it is in the stirring of an honest and natural impulse within. To breathe is instinctive. The childlike wildness unaffected, untamed, of Bala is the unconditioned self that knows how to move toward its natural fulfillment. Our minds may step in to say no or to give reasons why it's not appropriate. Yet the innate wisdom of the soul needs to be allowed to manifest. To allow for Sri Bala to arise within is to allow for the protective spirit that sees truthfully and acts with purity and fearless commitment to the path, even if our mother worries about our life choices at first. The Divine Mother empowers her, and so too empowers us to manifest our destinies with her help. Trust in your destiny. You are more than capable of the task for which your heart yearns. Placing your hands over the heart. Sri Bala, divine daughter, original divine instinct, my true nature, I bow to you. You hold the wisdom and desire for me to fulfill my authentic being. You are the fearless spiritual instinct within that must manifest for the spiritual benefit of all beings. Nothing shall obstruct my path as I move from the inner ground of my being with unwavering focus and self-trust. I am held in my Divine Mother's protection, blessed by her grace and her belief in me. May your unrivaled wisdom and unerring knowing guide me always. May you prevail. Jai Ma Bali, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma. And just leaving the eyes closed, breathing that in, taking in any message, anything that came up for you. Such a powerful message there of really following our destiny, our path, like our northern star, despite what anyone around us may say. So our pranayama today is Nadi Shodhana. If you're unfamiliar with this practice, it begins with your right hand. You can bring your hand into Vishnu Mudra, which is bringing the index and the middle finger in. If you're like me, it's not very flexible, so just bring it in a little bit. And we begin by keeping in mind those channels. So we have the central channel, and then on the left side, we have our feminine. On the right, we have masculine. And when I'm doing my practice, I envision it as Shiva and Shakti. And I like to visualize that they're meeting at the third eye point. So I envision like a light coming up and then they meet at the third eye point and then coming back down. So it's balancing through my being. And the lovers are uniting, separating and uniting. And I also see that as my breath. Through every breath that we take, it's coming together, a dance of energy and consciousness of Shiva and Shakti. Every single breath we have is a new beginning, is new life, is creation. And every exhale is destruction. That's why we can push out anything we're ready to destroy, to let go of, and breathe in the new. So with our Vishnu Mudra, we begin by closing the right nostril with the thumb and inhaling through the left. And we'll be doing this for 4 counts. So the right nostril is closed. Breathing in 1, 2, 3, 4. Closing the left nostril with the ring finger and exhaling out of the right for 4 counts. 2, 3, 4. And then we're holding at the bottom for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale through the right. 2, 3, 4. Switching. Exhale through the left. 2, 3, 4. Holding at the bottom. 2, 3, 4. Inhaling through the left. 2, 3, 4. Closing the left, exhaling out of the right. 2, 3, 4. Holding at the bottom. 2, 3, 4. Continuing this breath on your own. And if you're not used to holding your breath at the bottom, it could feel triggering or like you can't breathe, but that's just in your mind. So just going a little deeper into it, because it's only a few seconds, and this really relaxes the body. Focusing on the third eye point. And you're not changing the breath too much, so it should be very close to your regular breathing. Slow, controlled. Remembering to hold at the bottom, allowing that to be your sacred pause, the pause between destruction and rebirth, the space of pure potentiality, a clean slate, knowing that we can rebirth as many times as we desire in this life. We're never stuck, always moving, always rebirthing, always creating, always releasing. And just continuing for another minute on our own. Being fully present with the breath, following it down the spine, back up to the third eye, and back down. Finishing that last round until you exhale out of your left nostril. Relaxing the hands down. Just spending a moment in silent awareness. No expectations, just simply being. Feeling the cleansing energy of the inhale and the release of the exhale. And envisioning breathing in that word that you're carrying with you this week, that intention, perhaps to be more present with yourself, with your breath, maybe to speak more kindly to yourself, whatever your intention was. Breathing it in with the inhale and letting go of everything you wrote out on that paper yesterday that you're ready to release. Inhaling in your word, exhaling all that you're ready to let go of, releasing the past, inhaling the new. And placing the hands over the heart. And saying out loud after me, I am love. I am safe. I am grounded. I am empowered. I am supported. I am worthy. I am divine. I'm beginning to feel love, those vibrations from your heart space, growing around you, surrounding your aura, surrounding the room you're in. Our hearts are so powerful. So envisioning those vibrations spreading out all through your neighborhood, your town or city, your country, all around the world. And remembering that anything, whatever word comes after I am, is so powerful. You're telling your subconscious, I am, and it becomes your reality. So maybe today, for the rest of the day, bringing awareness to your internal dialogue, to your thoughts, emotions, as the non-judgmental witness, but knowing that you have the power to shift them to more empowering, to more healing stories that create your reality moving forward. And with our guidance from Kali, perhaps also reflecting on what you feel your purpose is here. And if you haven't discovered it yet, that's absolutely perfect too. But maybe journaling and thinking of what your most authentic life looks like, true to you, without keeping in mind anyone else's judgments or opinions. If your life is totally 110% yours, how does that look for you? Thank you, sisters, for joining me today. If you need any support or you want to share how this landed for you, I would love to see in our chat. And I'm wishing you a beautiful rest of your day. And again, this practice, this pranayama is simple but so powerful. And it's a really great place to start if you're brand new to breathwork. Okay, my loves. Enjoy your day, Satnam.